Hey all, it's Jebro. This is the segment I did on the recent Extra Life stream. I was with Nick Hernandez. He was actually interviewing me for once, like someone got to interview me for Extra Life, just getting to know more about me and also spraying silly string and just raising money for kids during the Extra Life event, which ArenaNet and GW2 put on every single year, and they are going for a goal of about $125,000. When you see the stream, hopefully we hit the target. I'm part of Team ArenaNet as well, and I'll throw the link down below in the description as well as the comments if you want to donate to my personal goal, which goes towards the overall ArenaNet goal. So enjoy. Hope that you maybe enjoyed the stream if you were watching live. Otherwise, take a look and learn a little bit more about me if you didn't know about this stuff already. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Extra Life. For those of you who are just joining us, we are currently doing a segment called Dev Talk, where we are interviewing developers and actually also some community members, or a community member in particular, talking about things like what they do, what inspires them, and things along those lines. Also, with every donation incentive hit, they are given the opportunity to spray me with silly string, and if we run out of silly string, stickers and things like that. But for right now, we're sticking with the string because it's fun. Outside of that, we have hit all of our goals, so thank you again for everybody who were able to get us up to $50,000. We have released all of the hints, so as a reminder, there's currently a Twitter thread out there, and if you have not gotten a chance to see the hints and are working on the collection that we've released, toss it in the chat, and I'm sure that somebody will provide a link for you. But besides that, I'm joined here with our wonderful guest, Jebro, today. And Jebro actually isn't one of the developers. You are one of the individuals on the partner program. You are one of our streamers and content creators, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Well, unless you want to just randomly employ me now. I mean, we can do that.
Power,
it might be awkward.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of like what you do in those spaces?
Yeah, so I've been streaming for a long time. I think I'm partner number like 20 or something.
Out of
out of a lot.
Yeah,
It was hundreds.
There's like numerically, you're the 20th person that we
that was kind of put into the program. So there was back when Aurora Peachy and Bogota and Wind Potatoes, and I was quite soon after that. Back in the day, we had like a authorized Shoutcaster program, which was alongside the partner program. So it was this whole different thing, but. Yeah, I started streaming so long ago, and I'm in the ArenaNet partner program. Do loads of bits and bobs, honestly. Do so much. And over the years, a YouTube channel, TikTok, Instagram, all the things, and you just start. I think Roy was on earlier and was talking about, I did this kind of one thing, and it kind of just spiraled, snowballed into like shoutcasting and creating more content, podcasts. Streaming Guild Wars 2, other games, and so it kind of just flowed from there, really.
I think you also you currently do like speaking of your podcast, can you talk a little about that? I think like you do like a regular every Friday sort of thing going on.
Yeah, it's called the Lightbringers. It's Tybalt's podcast, I guess.
I never thought of it that way.
In honor of him. No spoilers if you've not played all the. Well,
look, it's been like almost.
Hey,
a decade,
I just say like in the hearts and minds of everyone, Tybalt is very much still alive. And maybe one day, bring him back in some way, shape, or form. I don't.
I'm not the one saying it. He is.
I said that. I am not a developer. I'm just a community member. It's a wonderful podcast. We have different guests on weekly, but we have kind of a stable few guests. There's Kroof, there's Rookery, and there's Boots, World of Vendors, and Crichton Herald comes on from time to time as well as a bunch of other awesome people. And we just want to create like an inclusive, supportive community around a podcast where we just, talk respectfully about the game, criticize the game in a very respectful way, where feedback is, respectful. I'm just going to apparently respectful is my word today.
You're being constructive in your criticism.
Constructive criticism, yeah. So that's the key. That's the aim mostly. But just having a laugh and just being massive nerds about the game, you know, and just talking and enjoying like about the thing we enjoy. And then I don't think you quite understand how much you love a thing until you come together with other people to talk about it. Because streaming on your own is different. Like you just, you're almost screaming into the void sometimes because you look at a chat and then you see the chat, but there's no one to kind of bounce off of in terms of voice. And that's something I need. I mean, in my job, that's what I do. I talk to people. So
and talking's fun.
Yeah,
what we're doing right now.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's how you get to know people better as well. So
agreed. And I think that you mentioned a little bit that you talk to people in your job. I think you're also like a mental health counselor, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I just came back from that. I won't tell you this story because it was a bit much. But I'm a mental health counselor. I just started like about a month ago. So I'm working with kids, teens, adults up to however age, and with all kind of concerns. Depression, anxiety is a big one, post-COVID and stuff. But I worked with kids actually who went to Seattle Children's Hospital, which is the hospital. With everything to do with Extra Life as well, and these hospitals where kids go to have operations like life-changing operations, and they need care like mental health care during and after. I've seen loads of kids from the hospital, and we talk about their different health issues, the plethora of ones that we've had to deal with, and their thoughts and feelings afterwards. So, they wouldn't be in that spot if it wasn't for people donating. So please, whichever camera I'm looking on.
Any of them.
We'll do all
I think actually yours is that one right there.
My one's the one with the green.
That one,
cool.
yeah.
Donate because it, seriously, please.
It does help out a lot. Yeah.
Oh, how do I know when we've hit 100 and I can use this stuff?
Well, so like I said, we've hit like. There's literally like.
So I can just do
so
this
much.
whenever.
You can just whenever. Really,
okay.
Is what
Of course, I
happens.
can kind of just go.
Like literally, as I'm talking, as you're talking, what have you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think
this
that's a
awesome.
distance though, so be careful.
I didn't realize that. Sorry, lights.
You're
Suddenly burn the studio.
Okay, nothing important. But I think that so you talked about like the podcast and being a content creator,
Yeah.
And I do actually have I have a bonus question for you that popped up in my head as you were talking that
cool.
I want to hit on later. So I'm gonna lock that in there. But
okay.
For now, can you talk a little bit of like how you got into Guild Wars 2? Because I feel like that's the first hit that kind of seems like it snowballed everything.
Yeah, for sure. So I used to play games like Dark Age of Camelot and Warhammer Online, which they're gone now. And there was just a real sense. It's like World v World basically, but it was called RVR, Realm v Realm back in the day. And so our guild was like, there's this game called Guild Wars 2. Like none of us had heard of Guild Wars, and which I feel a bit bad about even today. And it was just about like people coming together, sieging, war, no one knowing what the hell's going on most of the time. And that's what I got kind of attracted to. And the bears came up, and I was just hooked. I remember playing. I was actually playing a Ranger because I'm an engineer main. I played Ranger and Mesmer, and I was just like running around with my mates, just in these big bands of guilds, just not knowing where to go, what to do, and just being in this world, exploring it at the same time as just being wrecked by many people. So it was pretty cool, and got hooked.
Was the kind of like I get you because World v World is also what pulled me into Guild Wars. For those of you who don't know, I actually have not been a developer at this company my entire life. Yeah. I joined like 2015, 2016, something like that, as well. And I actually got into the game through the World v World as well. So
cool.
It's a fun game mode, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely.
But back then, right? Like, would you say that it was were there commanders back at point? Like, clearly not with the commander tag, right? But was there some level of cohesion?
We used the target. The target thing, the party target. So it was that, I think, as far as I remember. And we had parties, but then we would also, I think there was something where you could, you ate something and it turned you into a different color. It gave you like a hue or something, and whatever we could come up with to follow this just one person. I might be just completely forgetting a mechanic back then.
I think I know what you're talking about, because we would have like the combat tonics, right?
Yeah,
so
that's it, exactly, that stuff.
Or we would have people be like, it's like, if you're going to be running around as the person we hold to target, you cannot be an Asura. You have to be a big, bulky Norn.
And I like Asuras, so
I like Asura too. Yeah, my main's an Asura Necro, so I totally understand. So how would you say that, like, from that, how would you say that you got from that point, right, of enjoying the game, playing it with your friends, into shoutcasting, streaming, podcasting?
Yeah, that was a total accident. I don't know, like anyone in the chat kind of remembers. This is way back in the day. Has anyone got like? Wow, that's like a designer line there.
Mm-hmm. I'm a canvas.
Yeah. I mean, I like to do art. This is okay. I'll do
got all the colors this year just for that.
Oh, really? We've got different colors.
Got
okay.
Yellow, green, blue.
I don't know if I can talk and kind of do that at the same time.
I mean,
I'll try.
It's an adaptable skill set.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, well, I started in World v World, but I kind of started to fluctuate over towards PvP.
Yeah.
And just wanted to organise like community events. Like I've just been organising things for a long time. I used to organise PvP tournaments. We raised over like 10 grand for players.
Yeah.
But this first one was just like a thing for players to just hang out. And I was like, back in the day when gold was like 2 gold was a lot. Like 2 gold was a lot of money. So I got players to like put in, I think, 2 to 5 gold each on each team. And that was just when I think arenas came out, so you could go in there and kind of shoutcast and stuff. And I just organised this tournament with like 6 or 7 teams, and only like 2 to 4 turned up.
Yeah.
And I streamed it. It was one of my first ever streams. And ESL was running a weekly esports league that we used to do stuff with, like Pro League and whatnot. And they saw what I was doing one week, basically, and like the next week, I think it was the next week, we're like, do you want to shoutcast, commentate one of our tournaments where we have like thousands of viewers? And I was like, well, I had a 20 viewer stream on mine, and okay, sure.
I mean, you put in the effort, right? You put in the work. You contacted individuals, you worked with the community, you built an entire system, and you created incentives. So I mean, that's big.
Yeah,
honestly.
and I was a massive nerd. Like shoutcasting wise, I was just having fun. It was just my energy that people connected to. It wasn't really my game knowledge at the time, and that developed as. But I had people that supported me in that role. Other players and people I would hang out with, and other shoutcasters who would fill that role, and I'd just be the hype man, kind of just shouting and losing my. I'm not going to swear, but like.
No, you're fine.
Just being that person. It just spiraled, I guess, and then streamed, and then I ended up hosting ESL weeklies for a long time. That's how I got partner on Twitch, because back then we needed quality settings. Because back then it was like 480. I can't remember what the resolution was.
Oh god, it was. I think that like back then 720 was considered like wow.
Oh yeah, that was
once we had the HD thing, it was like
yeah. Sometimes they brought transcoding in when you hit like 100 viewers after a while as well, and we were like, whoa, we need more people. Like we need to get people into the stream just to get transcoding options and stuff, and it was those were the days for sure.
Yeah, no, I mean it sounds like it sounds like you've had a lot of fun, and it sounds like you've been doing this for a long time. You know what I mean?
Yes, it has been a long time, and I've been here many times. This is the 6th year that ArenaNet have been doing it. It's the 6th year I've been doing it with you. So it's
well, I mean, I'm glad to have you here with me right now.
Yes,
this
I appreciate you inviting me as well. It's been awesome.
Man. You deserve
it.
Thank you. But I think that as I mentioned, you have been doing it for a long time. You have kind of been doing the podcast, and you did shoutcasting for a long time back when we did have the ESL league. I guess like from that entirety of structure, is there anything that you would say that you're kind of most proud of, or you can look at and be like, that's the one, that's the thing?
I think I told you the main thing. I am proud of the shoutcasting that I did. I'm going to give myself some credit today.
Yeah, please do.
Just some work I'm doing personally, but like just my energy and what I brought to the scene was a very unique part of what I did and what ArenaNet saw in me. And it was ArenaNet who believed in me. People like Josh Davis, Ali Murdoch back in the day who brought me in first of all, Colin Johansson, and a ton of the World v World peeps and PvP competitive team like Jessica back in the day as well. Like, all these people believed in what I did, and Ruby as well. Who's always been amazing, and Bobby, and just the supportive people who are here. So I'm thankful for that, but also just for the fact that the podcast that are produced and
the Lightbringers podcast, correct?
Yeah. So the Lightbringers has been going for 2 seasons. I made a new season when End of Dragons came out, so I was like, it makes sense.
I mean, I think it works out, right? It's you're creating segmentation to help people understand kind of the current events that are happening within.
Absolutely.
The content,
and we changed we got Gears to Gnomes, who's an awesome guy, did some of our artwork as well, who's on the Arena Art Show, and really changed up the season 2 stuff for End of Dragons, which is a good transition. And I'm just the friends friendships I've made there, as well as like hanging out, with different communities and getting to know different people, being just inclusive, really, really diverse community of peeps, working with more LGBTQIA plus folks as well, and it's just been really, really awesome. And I'm thankful for creating that, because I've just made a lot more friends in terms of like content creators. They've become some of the most awesome people I know. So I'm happy to be on this journey with them, and we're doing a show tomorrow as well at 8 a.m. Pacific on Extra Life. So.
Yeah, what time slot do you usually do it in, just so like, people are aware?
Oh yeah, Fridays, kind of 1 p.m. Pacific, depending on whether or not I've got out of my meeting on time.
Yeah. So around that range. Right?
Yeah. Life's changed considerably in the last couple of years, so it's going to grad school to be a therapist, and then transitioning into working as an actual mental health counsellor and being a therapist has been a change. So hopefully about 1 p.m. Pacific on a Friday, which is like 4 p.m. Eastern. 8 p.m. GW2. And so come and hang out. Otherwise, all the VODs are on YouTube and stuff anyway. So, and it's out there. If you just Google it, you'll find it, because a lot of people are watching it.
Yeah,
so
for sure. Well, it sounds like, clearly you're here with us right now.
Yeah.
It is past that time, so.
Yeah, not today.
Yeah, not today.
Not today.
And so we thank you, for taking the time to be here, and I'm glad that you are still doing it tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think it is important for us to be able to get kind of feedback and discussion happening around the game, because we can't be an echo chamber for ourselves. So I do really appreciate
That's it exactly.
Yeah, you and everyone else who take the time to do those podcasts.
I feel really bad that I'm not doing this.
No, man, you do
Wow.
You do whatever. it's all
That's
good.
pretty good. I feel like I should be getting Mark as well, but I feel bad. No, I'm not going to do that. Don't worry.
Not the expensive stuff.
I appreciate the equipment. It's okay.
Yeah, but so just going back to it, like you've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
And that's honestly fantastic.
I'm getting older, Nick.
No, not like that. I mean, you.
I did hurt my back on the way up the stairs.
You're one of the OG content creators.
I'm British. Don't forget about that. I'm still not lost that. I've been here for a while, but the sarcasm is still very real.
It's totally good. But I guess
why do you try and pick that up?
I don't even. I'm making sure that it's not on the mic, because if it's on the mic, it doesn't. But I think
can't really aim for the mic. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Like you aim and I'll worry about it. If I had hair, yeah, that would be.
I'm sorry.
Hey, man, we're both rocking the bald squad over here today.
This
and
is
I appreciate
true.
it.
It's the easiest way.
It sucks that we can't be a part of that head shaving stuff, though. But
I think I started that.
Yeah, you actually are usually one of the people who's shaving their heads, right?
Yeah.
I was going to say, you have experience.
I have a lot of experience.
Yeah, you and me both.
I used to shave I remember one year, I think it was CMC, I did the Cat Manda thing in the back of his head.
Oh God, that's
fantastic. I think it was Nightmare, I can't remember who it was.
Did we get a picture of that?
I've got one somewhere, yeah. I found it the other day. It's pretty
that'd
cool.
Be fantastic. You should make that like an incentive goal or something like that. I'm sure if Cal was up to it, people would enjoy it. But kind of, going back to your role as a shoutcaster and as an individual who did podcasting, content creation, you clearly have a lot of kind of wisdom, insight, and experience in that.
Yeah.
For those individuals who want to get into those kinds of things, want to become a shoutcaster, want to be a content creator, want to, even be a mental health advocate, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What kind of advice would you give them?
Yeah, so streaming is a totally different ballgame to when I got started in it, because, I didn't really have a goal. I just knew the event I wanted to put on, and that was my goal at the time. I think if you're going to stream, and I'm going to say this in a very, I hope you hear me, whoever's if you're thinking about starting a stream or creating content in any way, think about your goals and think about what you want to achieve for yourself. And think about, why are you getting into it in the first place? Is it to get famous? Is it to earn money? Is it to create a community? Is it just to hang out with your mates and just pop up a stream and record it, for prosperity reasons? Because loads of people do that. And just know what you want to do. I think a lot of people go in with the expectation of, I'm going to stream and I'm going to be famous.
Yeah.
And that's when, you can get a lot of hurt feelings and, your confidence can be knocked a bit. So knowing your goals is really, really important. I'm not a huge streamer by any means, and that's not really been something I've ever aimed to do. I just wanted to kind of earn money alongside going to school, have a community, and hang out with people that I think are awesome and play a ton of different games. And and create a podcast and shoutcast. And it's a lot of stuff, but
it is a lot of stuff, right? But it sounds like you have fun with it.
Yeah, and I'm that kind of person that I like to get involved with other people and you know, it's kind of funny. Like I'm quite an introvert, honestly. Like, and in terms of what I do, like people get very surprised about that. But you can be introverted and be a streamer and create a community and have awesome people around you. And you know, the community we have are some of the most awesome best friends I've ever had. So, you know, I'm very I'm very proud of that. Like that respect, and also just the Lightbringers. It's been like I don't know why I'm getting randomly emotional about that.
Yeah,
but like
it's almost like it's an emotional
that's like
thing to talk about,
it is
right?
like, you know, Lightbringers has been like a specific thing. We all get emotional on that show quite often, and it's a good way to advocate for mental health and show like, you know, it's okay for us to get this way on camera and in front of other people, and you know, that's what Extra Life is about. And I think, you know, that's what it's so awesome about this, is that year after year after year, people like Ruby, yourself, and everyone else who takes part in this, you can see the emotion and drive and commitment to just trying to raise money for kids. And you know, we're at 51K right now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
not a small amount of money.
In the first couple of years, I remember getting to the night of the first day and us not even being hit 20. You know, and that we would be like trying to egg on the streams, like we need to get to the 25 so we can double it. And then by that time, it was like, you know, it start to kind of slow down because we hit that big goal, but this ain't stopping.
Yeah,
this ain't slowing down.
I will be honest, I am absolutely dumbfounded because like we're only in hour 3. You know what I mean?
Oh really?
Yeah.
This is
like,
hour 3.
This is hour 3. Yeah.
Oh,
I've been on this stream since 12 o'clock with like we started with Ruby and Indigo and then we went into the segment. So the fact that we're already at 51,000 was, like I said, just absolutely mind-blowing.
Oh, that was failure. Sorry, I actually got it onto your paper there.
That's totally fine.
That's like a lot. Oh yes, yes. Quality.
Was that 500 points?
That was good. I win.
Like
I win. I won the game. Was there a
that's
game? I don't know. Sorry.
No, that's totally cool. I'm here for it. Oh God, no, but that one, that one.
Sorry
made me
about
lose
the
my train of
microphone
thought.
stuff as well.
Did it hit the mic? No, the mic's
Screaming.
good. The mic's good.
Oh no, I was
Mike's
screaming
fine, I'm
into it.
protecting him. But oh God, no, I lost my train of thought on
Sorry.
that one. No, it's fine. Yeah,
the
like
point,
just. Wow, y'all are so generous. Honestly,
That's so
I can't.
cool.
I really can't.
Yeah.
Words don't come out. So just honestly, thank you. And you know, we hope that we can keep it rolling throughout the rest of the day, because again, this is for an amazing cause, and just okay, I'm gonna get emotional. So going back to what we were talking about, right? With the
Do it. We can't do a live therapy session right now, but
no.
I'm probably the person to do it. It's not really
Right.
ethical. But
you know, just make sure you can send me the bill later, right?
yeah. Or maybe one day I should like interview kind of Ritlock or something and have a therapy session with Ritlock. That would be funny.
Oh God, I mean, I feel like if anyone needs it, it's probably Logan.
Oh, he needs
being
some.
honest.
He needs some deep work.
He really does. Oh God, that'd be such a fun segment of like how much therapy would each character need, right? You know what I mean? Or it's like, what are the focal points for each of them?
Can someone write this down?
recorded,
Please,
you're
like,
fine.
I'm really geek's going to
You
do
may
that. It's
take
okay. Thank you.
But actually, something that you had mentioned earlier as well when we were discussing things previously is that also, you know, like I kind of also can empathize with that at a certain extent, because I used to be a musician. I think you also used to be kind of like in the audio tech music industry
absolutely.
as well.
Absolutely.
So, you know, like in that industry, it's also very much like you got to do it for yourself. You can't expect to get big and famous.
No.
Like, especially overnight. And it seems like you've put in a lot of work, and that work has shown, right?
Yeah.
In multiple regards.
Yeah, and it's not for me. It's never been about, like, I've never been a huge. People just know who I am because I'm annoying or something. I don't know, like just because I've been working with different people.
I mean, I'd say that. So sorry to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
Huge, I think, is subjective, right?
Yeah,
I've got some friends who are Twitch streamers, and they talk about like how I think if you are getting, I know, I've got hair, guys. It's great. It's back. If you have like I think 10 concurrent viewers per stream, you're in like I think like top 10% percentile, something along those lines. So,
I think 5 to 20 is something like the top 3% of Twitch or something like that. Yeah, it's something ridiculous.
So, I mean, I would consider that success. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially like for concurrency. Don't
Yeah.
sell yourself short.
No, I do this. I'm the same. You know, we were
It's like,
literally
I
just
am
talking
too,
about it
right?
before we came on. Like, you know, it's about giving yourself credit, and if you can do that, like, awesome. But like, sometimes it does get a little bit hard. Like, it's a tough world we live in right now, and you know, like what we're doing today is like bringing hope to a lot of people. You know, to kids, and you know, being able to just supply kids with the things they need, because America's healthcare system is not fantastic.
It's not great.
Okay, and I'm English coming into this country, and I know that just from my own point of view. So this money is really, really important, and keep doing it. It doesn't matter. Like, think about, like, you know, every day you might get coffee. Throw that coffee over to the stream, you know, not literally, quite often. You just see loads of people outside just throwing random Starbucks mugs.
Or it's like you see like they spill the coffee in the keyboard, and it's like, oh wait, that's not what he meant.
Yeah, this is for Extra Life.
Right.
But like, yeah, so yeah, just keep doing it, and yeah, give yourself credit. And with streaming and everything else, content creation, anything you create, you know, just know your goals.
Agreed.
Is so key, so important.
And actually, you know, on that note, like we've come pretty much to the end of the segment.
Yeah.
And with every interviewee, I like to take some time to ask them, like, you know, what made them, and in this extent you, right, want to participate in Extra Life. Both, it sounds like every year, but also this year. Because it sounds like you've been doing it for every year since we started.
So I tell you, I'm not actually sure about why I started doing it. I think I've raised charity in different ways ever since I was a kid. You know, I've been around people my whole life with, you know, either disability or a mental health concern. So there's always been someone in my life where I'm like, you know, supporting in that way. And trying to then, you know, raise money, whether or not, you know, it's my grandparents when I was a kid, and I, you know, did swim-a-thons to try and raise money for cancer. And, you know, it's just always been something I wanted to get involved with specifically. And now, you know, Extra Life was always just that thing, that's the thing I'm going to do every year. That's the charity that I want to focus on. And, you know, I haven't started my own personal run yet. So people who are donating to my thingy, thank you very much. It goes towards the ArenaNet goal as well anyway. But I'll start doing my bit tonight and over the weekend as well, while we've got drops on and whatnot. But, you know, since then, just wanting to help out where I can and support people. It's what I do as a job. It's what I do. Like, it's just, I think it's part of me, and I might sound like a little bit I don't know, but like,
promote it, say it.
Yeah, like, it's just it's just the person I would like to be, and you know, we're not all perfect, but you know, if we can put things into the world and support other people in other ways, it's one of the best things you can do. Whether or not it's monetarily, being a support, being an ear to anyone, you know, like, I'm going to do my mental health bit just for a second. But like, seriously, if you know anyone in the world that feels alone or you haven't heard of, chuck them a message, chuck them a DM on Discord, whisper on Guild Wars 2. You know, Guild Wars 2 advocates for mental health as well, which is why I'm still part of this community, you know, as well. Like, they do so many good things. You know, Seize the Awkward was another one of those causes. So doing that work with ArenaNet is, you know, it gives me a lot. So yeah.
Well, like I said,
awesome.
just thank you so much for taking the time.
No worries.
To be here with us today, right? To tell us these stories. Sorry, you'll see in a second why I'm laughing. Things like that. We should cut over to Jebro or Maine.
Oh, there's blue. I missed
blue.
out completely. Oh, that one ran out. I'm sorry for the last guest.
It's okay.
There's one more.
Well, yeah. But outside of that, you know, one final question I have for you is, can you talk a little bit about, like, when your segments are going to be up for later today and tomorrow, and also if people want to find out about the Lightbringers, more about yourself, where can they find you?
Yeah, so I don't think I'm doing much tonight. I think I've got to take a little bit of a break tonight for myself. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Pacific, we got Lightbringers with Rookery, with Kruth, and with Boots. We have a
World of Vendors.
World of Vendors, we've got a great incentive every $50 or so. We're going to be putting clothes on.
That's going to be a lot of clothes.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of clothes. That was Boots' idea, quality idea, but we're doing loads of other stuff. We've got some gem giveaways. We've got other bits and pieces, so come along, hang out with us for that. Nick might also be someone who joins us in future if we hit a goal there as well, so that could be, you know, a good thing. So just come and raise some money with us, hang out. We've got tons of fun stuff to do, and yeah, we're going to be on the Guild Wars 2 channel.
Yeah.
So,
and Twitter handle.
So at Jebro Unity, Jebro Unity everywhere, YouTube, stream, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all the things.
All the things. All right, cool. Well, thank you so much for taking time with
No
us,
worries.
Jebro. And we're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we're back, we're going to have our final guest with us, so stay tuned, everybody. What is that? Oh, okay.
When you go to the operating room, you take this medicine